Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sweet Star Candle YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be restocking some of my jelly wax melts. So today I'm going to be making some Cosmic Candy jelly wax melts and some Sakura Shiba jelly wax melts. So I'm going to start off with the Cosmic Candy, and my first step is getting my stars ready. These are going to go in the bottom of my clamshell, and then I'll cover them with another layer of wax. So I'm going to measure out 3 ounces of wax, or 85 grams. I'm just going to see how many stars this gets me. I need about 12 stars, so about 4 rows of this silicone mold, and that'll make 2 wax melts. So the wax I'm using is the Penrico High Density Jelly Wax, and this one is a lot softer than the one that I was using that was from Amazon. Okay, 68, 83, that's good. I'm going to add this to my electric hot plate. So I'm going to add some mica powder to my stars, of course. This is a Diamond Dust mica powder from Nature's Garden. I'm going to use 1/64 teaspoon. And that's just going to allow our jelly wax melt to sparkle when it melts. So the reason I am restocking these specific jelly wax melts is because they sold really well at the last couple of craft shows I've been to. So if you're a maker or a business owner and you go to craft shows, definitely try out jelly wax. I think it's like the new trend going on right now, so people are really into it. So I'll have some videos linked down below of some previous videos I've done, and it's more in depth on how to make jelly wax melts that you guys can watch. But I definitely recommend it if you already sell candles and wax melts. It's kind of parallel to if you've already made wax melts before. It's basically just a different wax and you do the exact same thing. So I've got my wax all melted, and as you can see, the mica powder makes the wax really sparkly. And the mica powder is less like glitter and more like a mineral that stays within the wax. So when they peel it off their wax former, it's not going to be all settled to the bottom. It'll pretty much stay in the wax melt. So I would definitely recommend giving mica powder a try if you've never done it before. It's a lot easier to use than glitter, and it stays better in the products. So I'm also going to add some liquid candle dye to my wax. So these stars are going to be yellow, so I'm going to add some liquid yellow candle dye, and this is also from Nature's Garden. I'm going to add 1 drop of this. Another thing with jelly wax is the candle dye goes a long way. Since it's pretty much completely clear and you're not fighting with white, a little bit of candle dye goes a long way. So while my wax gets cooling down, I'm going to add some fragrance oil. And you have to be careful with fragrance oils they use for jelly wax because some of them cannot be used in jelly wax. So you just have to make sure, like when you order it from a website or if you go in person and buy it, you just want to ask if it can be used in jelly wax. So I just cleaned out my little glass container, and I really like these glass containers because unlike plastic or paper, they're reusable, and the fragrance oil doesn't like melt them, which has happened to me before with like a plastic cup. It will literally melt the plastic cup from fragrance oil. So since I didn't really use that much wax, I'm going to use 5 grams of fragrance oil. I'm just going to add that right into my jelly wax. You also want to make sure if you can use jelly wax, you know the percentage of fragrance oil that can be used. You basically don't want fragrance oil leaking out of your wax melt. So I'm going to start pouring these. I've got my wax a little bit more melted down since it was solidifying. So another thing about jelly wax is it solidifies pretty quick. So you have to be quick where you want your jelly wax to go once it's melted. So while I'm pouring these, be sure to go and subscribe to the channel. I am doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers. And I just want to thank you guys for all the support the last year on all these YouTube videos. So here they are. As you can see, the mica powder disperses evenly through all of the wax melts and it makes it look really, really pretty. Next up is Sakura Shiba. So this is my mold, and after I pour in the wax, I will take it out of this mold and then separate it into individual petals. So I'm going to do kind of the same method I did with the stars. So I'm going to measure out the same amount of wax again. It'll be 85 grams. And I should probably put a battery in this because it blinks every single video. So I need 85 grams of the same jelly wax. I'm going to get my wax melting. So I'm also going to get the same amount of fragrance oil for this one, 5 grams. This fragrance oil is cherry blossoms and vanilla. And then the Cosmic Candy one is more fruity scent, so it has like pineapple, plum, raspberry, strawberry, stuff like that. So while my wax is still getting melted down, I'm going to add more of my mica powder. This is optional, but I like to include it in all of my products because it makes it look sparkly and cute. So I'm going to add 1/64 teaspoon. So another thing I'm going to do is add some color. This is magenta liquid candle dye, and I'm going to use a popsicle stick like I have in other videos. This basically dilutes the amount of dye I'm adding in. So I just want a little tiny amount just to make it a really light pink color, because if I added an entire drop of this, it would make it like really dark. And with jelly wax, you kind of want it to have a more translucent look, so just adding a little bit on the end of a popsicle stick will help me achieve that. So here's how that magenta color looks. Hopefully it will be a really pretty light pink once we pour it. So I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'm going to keep repeating this process until I get through all of my wax. So while I'm waiting on my last Sakura Shiba jelly wax to melt, I'm going to get my 2 clamshells ready for my Cosmic Candy. So basically what I'm going to do is take my stars out of the mold, and since my clamshell is closed like this and this is towards the top, I'm going to face my stars near the top. Just like that. And I try to center them as most in the middle as I can. Just like this. And I'm just going to continue to do that for both of my clamshells. So next up, I'm going to measure out 300 grams of wax. Each one of these will be 150 grams. So I'm going to do 2 at one time. And I'll have these linked down below if you want to check them out. They are on the website. And of course, if you are in East Tennessee area, I do a lot of markets, so you could see them in person if you want to attend one. And I always post on my social media what markets and things that I'm at. I'm going to get this added to my electric hot plate. I'm going to get my fragrance oil measured out, so that way once the wax is melted down, my fragrance oil is ready. So each one of these is going to be about 9 grams of fragrance oil, so I'm going to use 18 grams. So my jelly wax is around 247 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to add in my fragrance oil. I'm going to get that mixed in. So my wax is about 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's thickened up quite a lot. It's not to the point where I can't get it out of the pitcher, but it's getting pretty thick. So I'm going to go ahead and pour over my 2 clamshells. So here they are all poured out, and as you can see, the mica pattern once again looks really pretty. These should be ready to package up tomorrow. I'll also be making the Sakura Shiba tomorrow, so I will be back tomorrow to show you guys. So I'm back the next day, and it's time to get the labels on these. As you can see, the little stars, and that will cause a really pretty ombre effect when someone melts these. So it won't just be pink or yellow, it'll be a pretty ombre. So I'm going to add my labels. These are from Online Labels, and I believe these are the 4x3 size, and they fit perfectly on these clamshells. I'll show you guys. As you can see, perfect size, and you can still see around it if I would have placed it better. But yeah, and I'll do the other one. And then it's time to get started on my Sakura Shiba jelly wax melts. Now let's basically place a little bit better. See at the top and the bottom. Okay, let's get started on the Sakura Shiba. So I'm going to be doing 3 of the Sakura Shiba. So for all of my wax melts, I want them to match each other. So I've got my reference. This is a Sakura Shiba soy wax melt. So I'm just going to place this to the side. And then as you can see what I'm about to do, I'm going to add in my flower petals. And I'm just going to separate them very gently. And then as you can see on this one, I'll just place this right here. The top left one is kind of going this way, so I'm going to add it like that. And then I'm just going to repeat this process for all of them. This just allows for a lot of cohesion between products, and it's meant to resemble like petals that have fallen on the ground. So I'm going to get these all added in here, and I'll be right back. So for this one, since I'm doing 3 wax melts, I'm going to add 450 grams of jelly wax. I'm going to get my jelly wax added to my electric hot plate. So while that's melting, I'm going to add 3 scoops of mica powder. So 3 1/64 teaspoons. I'm also going to add 1 drop blue liquid candle dye, and this is from Nature's Garden. And I'll have links down below to all the supplies, and I'm adding 1 drop so that way it's really diluted for all 3 of them. So it's melting, I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil. I'm going to use 27 grams. My wax is about 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to pour in my fragrance oil and get that all mixed in. So my wax is about 208 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's time to pour. I'm going to let these sit overnight, and I will be right back tomorrow to label them with you guys. I let these sit overnight, and they are good and firmed up. As you can see, the little flower petals that I added, and it'll cause a really cool effect when they're melting, because you'll see like the pink and the blue kind of mixed together. The same with the cosmic candy with the pink and the yellow. So I'm just going to get these all closed and then add my labels. So these are the same size from Online Labels, and then just decorated differently, and they kind of match the theme of the blue. This color matches the candle version much better. It's hard to get this light of a blue on the jelly wax melts. And if you do, you're not going to see much of the dye I added when it comes to melting in a melter. So I'm going to add that just right in the center. And there we go. So thank you everyone for watching today's video. Please be sure to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you did. Especially if you want to see more jelly wax melt content. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next week. And also another thing before I go, if you want to check out the Sakura Shiba and Cosmic Candy Jelly Wax Melts, they are on my website. I'll have it linked at the top of the description.